Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Julia Chien. I'm a registered dietitian based in Vancouver. Though I see clients all over the world, I help people get to the root cause of chronic symptoms. Whether you're someone dealing with eczema, gut issues, or just general chronic inflammation, this is the channel where you'll learn the tips to help improve your body, to improve your symptoms. And I'm also a big advocate and believer of nervous system work when it comes to healing chronic inflammation. You'll also find topics about nervous system and the mind-body connection. In today's episode, I'm actually going to share my exact process of how I heal my own flares. This is actually a question that I get often. My clients are often asking me, how did I heal my skin? How did I go through TSW 10 years ago? And why does it seem like it's so easy for you to heal? So today's episode is about if my eczema flares again, this is exactly what I would do. Now, I just want to preface in saying that what works for me may not necessarily work for you. I know a lot of people, they want like the secret sauce, they want exactly how to heal, but I have a completely different body than yours, different genes, different history, different lifestyle, different stress and trauma. Even though this works really well for me, it may not necessarily mean it'll work for you. If you need more personalized approach to your healing, I always recommend working with a practitioner to help you figure out what that looks for you in terms of your journey. So it's actually going to surprise a lot of people what I actually do to heal my own skin. And if you're a long-term follower or listener of my channel here, you probably have a slight idea as to what I focus on. If I woke up tomorrow with really bad eczema, the first thing I would do is to calm my nervous system. Personally, for me, my skin and inflammation is always connected to my lifestyle and my nervous system. Whether it's me overworking, overthinking, not getting enough self-care, and my nervous system actually reacts to people and my environment. I was in quite a toxic friendship a couple years ago, and I would never understand why my eczema would come and go. After leaving that friendship, which I'm so grateful that I did, I don't get eczema flares anymore. And if I do, they're mild and it's not related to my relationships with people. So my nervous system is often impacted by my lifestyle, my environment, and people. And so because that's my root cause, what I would do first if I were to experience an eczema flare is I would calm my nervous system. In that case, I would audit my lifestyle and look at areas where I feel like I'm rushing or I feel like there's a lot of stress going on. A lot of my stress does come from work because running a business is not easy for my business owners, you know. There's a lot of stress when it comes to doing things, administrative, I'm a one-man show, so I do a lot of the back-end stuff that people don't see. That takes up a lot of time and energy. Not to forget one-to-one client work. If you guys are in the clinical one-to-one space, it is a lot in terms of providing the support for people and my clients and holding space for them. It does take a lot from me. So when I'm experiencing eczema, I'm really checking in on how much I'm filling my own cup, because it's absolutely necessary when you're doing this type of work is that you need to fill your own cup so that you have a full cup to help other people. And I've been really intentional with that and looking at my day-to-day, making sure that I'm not overbooking my day with calls, making sure that I set very clear boundaries. If my clients work with me, this is what you get inside the program. This is what you get inside the package. If you want more support, that's going to be one-on-one coaching. So I'm really clear with my boundaries. For one of the reasons is my nervous system, but obviously business related reasons as well. So that will help calm my nervous system when I'm more clear with my day-to-day lifestyle and how I'm feeling on the day-to-day. We're going to take a quick break. I wanted to take a moment to talk about something I see all the time as a root cause dietitian. So many people are struggling with gut issues, eczema, inflammation, fatigue, blood sugar imbalance, you name it. And they've tried everything under the sun, but nothing is really sticking. They go to the doctor's office and the first thing they're given is a medication or a steroid to help their skin. And there's not a lot of conversation about addressing symptoms from a root cause perspective. And this is where I come in. I help people as a dietitian to get to the root cause of exactly what's going on and create a practical, personalized nutrition plan that actually makes a difference. No strict protocols, no restrictive dieting, and no detoxes. Just a clear plan that you can actually follow that is sustainable. And this is exactly what we do inside our group and one-on-one coaching services. We help our clients feel better in their bodies and actually become symptom-free. If this is something that you've been looking for, I would love to work with you. You can simply book a free consultation in the show notes below. The consultation is for me to understand your health goals, where you're feeling stuck, and how we might be able to support you. I would love to help you feel better, confident in your body, confident in your skin, and confident in yourself by healing from the inside out. Now, Now, this is not a program that will just tell you what to do. This is a program where we work with you. We are by your side the entire time. We help you understand your symptoms and your body, and we combine nutrition with mind-body medicine. I'll leave the link in the show notes below for you to book a free call. Now, back to the episode. So if I notice in the last few weeks, I've been rushing, I've been not slowing down when I'm eating, trying to go appointment after appointment, or I don't have dedicated lunch times, and then my eczema flares a few weeks later or even a few months after, then I know it's because of that. So I would really tune in to what's been going on in my recent life. And I would be intentional and prioritize on those things, clearing my calendar, slowing down, having more me time in the morning, in the evening after a workday, taking breaks throughout the day, going for walks, making sure I'm providing nutrition for my body, because that's also a very key point, is that your nervous system isn't just calmed by your nervous system practices. It's also how you take care of your body from a nutrition and physical perspective. That moves on to my second point. If my eczema were to flare again, this is what I would do. I would make sure that I'm eating enough. Most of the time, when your nervous system is out of control, you're likely really busy. You're likely burning out and doing all the things. You're likely running around. And so you probably have less time to prepare your food. Or if you do have time to prepare your food, you're rushing when you're eating, or you're eating under stress. When you're eating under stress, or when your nervous system is dysregulated, your digestion is essentially shut off. You're not actually getting the nutrients and absorption that you would want from your food. So I'm making sure that I'm eating enough throughout the day. I'm hitting my protein targets. I'm setting intentional lunch times. From 12 o'clock to 1:30, I'm not taking calls. I am just focusing on my lunch. I also do not restrict my diet. One of the first things people do when they're experiencing eczema flares is that they go straight into restrictive dieting. I sound like a broken record when I talk about this, but it really still is a thing where people are focusing on too much dieting when they're trying to heal. And I've seen time and time again that actually makes eczema worse, it makes symptoms worse, it makes healing a lot harder. Your body needs energy and nutrients to heal from inflammation. If you're not providing your body with that, healing is going to be really challenging. The other thing I want to mention for me is that when my eczema is already flaring, I know my root cause is stress. I know my digestion's probably off. I usually see a connection. Like if my eczema is flaring, I'm noticing that I'm having less bowel movements, or my digestion is just not great. So in that case, the foods that I'm focusing on are always going to be cooked foods. That's easier for your digestion, especially if you're stressed. And I would try and stay away from salads, especially if I can be prone to slower digestion and slower motility. So that's what I would do in terms of my diet. Not restricting and being intentional with my diet, slowing down and actually having dedicated lunchtime, focusing on protein, fats, and fiber at every single meal. By the way, I have tons of episodes on nutrition and diet when it comes to healing inflammation. So if you haven't checked out those episodes on the podcast, highly recommend it. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, there's a whole playlist on diet and nutrition. The next thing I would do if I'm flaring, I would actually be really careful with my supplements. Most people think that if I'm flaring, that means I should be taking more. The problem with this is if you're in a highly inflammatory state and your immune system is overactive, which is the case for all eczema and autoimmune conditions, if you start throwing supplements at it, you can actually stimulate your immune system and also your nervous system, depending on what you're taking, and that can actually worsen symptoms. If I'm experiencing flaring, I would keep things simple. I'm not taking 10 supplements. I'm not taking 15 supplements. I'm just focusing on the core ones. My core supplements are going to be different from yours. They have to be targeted. They have to be strategic and based on what your body needs. Here's a good example. I noticed that my eyes have been twitching quite a bit, and I have been overworking the last couple of weeks here because we've been launching Root and Rise, which I'm so excited for. That's my body's signal before the eczema comes that I need to slow down. I have been trying to sleep earlier, turning off my screen by 5 p.m. I'm hitting the gym as part of my stress management, and then I'm taking magnesium glycinate, which is a very helpful supplement to support those who are experiencing stress. I'm not relying on magnesium to support my stress, but I'm taking it because I know that magnesium can help with my eye twitching, which is related to stress. And during this time, when you're more stressed than usual, your body is burning more of those nutrients. So we do want to replenish it with certain supplements. That that is a case where I would take a specific supplement depending on what's going on. And the next thing that I would focus on sort of wraps everything up in terms of what I do when I flare. I would calm my nervous system, which I share what I would do. And also to that, actually, I do implement nervous system tools. I love using the app Higher Self. It's an app created by Marley Rose. She's a business coach, but she focuses on subconscious beliefs. I actually worked with her a few years ago and she's absolutely amazing. I use her Higher Self app to help with my stress. So I do follow her meditations on the app. The other thing that I do that I've noticed a huge shift is actually going into the infrared sauna. I do my meditations in the infrared sauna, and infrared sauna has been shown to help with stress as well. So I find that doing two of those things together has been really helpful for me. I'm becoming licensed to become an EFT practitioner, so I do EFT on myself as well. So those are the nervous system tools that I personally use at the moment. Okay, to wrap up the next point with what I would do if I'm flaring is I would focus on consistency for each of these things. Calming my nervous system, I would focus on my nutrition, try and get more nutrients into my diet and not restricting. Streamlining my supplements, actually taking away supplements if I feel like I'm taking too much and just focusing on core ones. Magnesium being an example, because we know that's really good for stress support. And I'm not chasing new protocols. I'm not changing treatments. I'm not trying to look for the next thing. I really just focus on the consistency of what I'm already doing. And the last thing I would do, which I think a lot of people forget, and this is why I talk about this so much, is practicing trust for my body and compassion. I'm so confident in my own healing journey. I know what triggers my flares. I know how to heal it within a couple of weeks, but it didn't just happen overnight. It's trusting myself and trusting my body that it's trying to communicate with me, that it's not against me, that I know that I just need to focus on these core habits and foundations, and healing will just come. This is why in last week's episode, I talked about the subconscious belief that keeps people stuck. And this subconscious belief that people have is that they don't actually trust their bodies, because if you did trust your body, you wouldn't be frantic and searching for the next thing to heal, right? You would already know what you're doing is working, given that you have a good plan. This is exactly what I would do if my eczema were to flare, is to practice compassion, trusting my body, and working on those beliefs. If you're in a flare right now and this video gave you a light bulb moment, or you're like, wow, this sounds actually a lot more simple than people make it when it comes to healing eczema, then you're in the right place. I share weekly videos on my channel and on my podcast to help you navigate your healing journey. Make sure you hit subscribe so you get notifications for more content. And of course, if you're looking for more personalized support, whether you're dealing from eczema or something else, that's what I'm here for. I understand what it's like with this journey because I deal with it myself. Thankfully, I know exactly how to heal from it. That's why I love supporting people in achieving the same thing. If you would like to work together, I always leave a link in the show notes where you can book a free consultation. And the consultation is really for me to understand your journey, where you're at, how we can potentially support you, and then we can talk about what working together would look like. Have a good rest of your day, and we will see you in the next episode.